Arjuna and Vish have accumulated thus far. 200,000, the number of kilometres they've flown in the last year. With such things in common, it's no wonder I find myself standing here delivering a speech at their wedding reception. These guys were made for each other. They're both clearly very smart, very brainy, have a serious affiliation with travelling, and enjoy each other's company so much they've decided to work at the same firm. Good luck with that, guys. But now let me tell you what these two mean to me, personally. Let's start with my sister. When I think about Archana and our time spent together, two particular things stand out. Number one, as you may know from a very young age, she's excelled when it came to solving equations and writing English essays. She's maintained this stellar record through high school, uni, and now even at grad school, graduating from the best business school in the world. And so you all must be thinking, this is a great achievement, we should all be proud of this, she's done so well. Well, that's true for everyone except little old me. Think about it. Every time I've ever come home with a report card, assignment mark, or exam result, inevitably, all I see are disappointed faces on my parents. And after so many years of failures, I think my parents have just given up on me altogether. Now, the second one is her obsession with bushwalking. Now, I think some of her high school friends might know about this one. But correct me if I'm wrong. When I want to go on a holiday, and when I think of going on a holiday, I imagine sitting by the ocean, in my Speedos, showing off the abs, sipping coconuts. Instead, every holiday I ever go, as a family, thus far has involved bushwalking. Unfortunately for Mum, Dad and I, every memory of a holiday is now accompanied by memories of blood-sucking leeches, vicious mosquitoes, and oversized ponchos. Vish, that's your problem now, sucked in. Do you know, it's difficult to put into words how much you mean to me. After all, it has been 19 years, but let me give it a go anyway. Like most people, I have role models, people I look up to. Most people tend to choose the greats, scientists and freedom fighters of our time. Names such as Gandhi, Mandela, and Albert Einstein come to mind. My role model, however, is closer to home. Some call her Archie, others Junu. To me, she's just my big sister. You're an incredible person. There are very few who are as humble and selfless as you. You're an inspiration to us all, and especially me. So thank you very much for being my sister. And what about Vish? I haven't known him long, but there's one interesting fact that I have found out about him. And apparently he owns more hair product than his fellow Canadian Justin Bieber. Vish, you gotta sort that out. But Vish, hair products aside, the more time we spend together, the more you feel like the older brother I never had. Whether it's discussing the failures, which there are many, of the Indian cricket team, or geeking over cameras, phones and laptops, the past couple of weeks have been nothing short of awesome. So you're both incredible people, we've clearly established that, and I'm glad you found each other. Best of luck with everything. I know you'll both go on to achieve amazing things. I can't just wait to spend more time with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nirvan, for that speech.
So now, our next item, their friendship started in primary school and survived the rigours of a long-distance relationship, being at different high schools. But they couldn't stay apart. They rekindled their friendship in university and have never been apart since. With that, I'd like to invite Evangeline to say a few words.
Hi everyone, my name's Evangeline, and as Naran said, I've had the pleasure of knowing Archana, or Arch as we fondly call her, since we're about 10 or 11. In other words, a very, very long time. I won't disclose how old we are. Over the years, I've also had the pleasure of getting to know Arch's family. Uncle Dinesh, Auntie Azad, and Naran, of course. One of the most loving and tight-knit families I've ever met. One thing I've always admired is the love and support that Arch and the family have for each other. One of my earliest memories in our friendship is of Arch's dad driving us to a friend's birthday. I think what it would have been about 12 or so back then. Arch would make a suggestion and Uncle would say, yes, Archana, that's exactly right. Always listening to her and encouraging her. This is something that has continued through Arch's life from both her parents, and of course Naran. Over the years, I've also had the pleasure of spending a lot of time at Arch's family home. Her mum, ever the carer, would always be cooking something for us to try, and is always such a welcoming person. It's a wonder Arch ever wanted to leave. But leave she did. Arch, ever the adventurer, had a desire to explore the world, and so when she was at uni, she took off for her first adventure and exchange to McGill, which coincidentally happens to be in Canada. Little did she know back then that one day she would marry a Canadian and that fate would have her return to Canada with her new husband. Anyone who knows Arch in the slightest will tell you that she is one of the most intelligent, hardworking and positive people that you could ever meet. It just so happens that this is a perfect combination of personal characteristics for a management consultant, which is what she decided to do with her career. Some would say she was destined for it, although I'm certain she could have pretty much done anything she wanted to. Not only was Bain the place where Arch's career started, it was coincidentally also where she would eventually meet the love of her life. In 2010, Arch met a young man who happened to be on secondment from Canada at Bain. So I remember Arch telling me about it back then, and Arch was never one to let on too much about her feelings, especially when it came to guys. She mentioned that there was this really nice guy at work who just happened to be Indian and didn't know too many people in Sydney at that point. That obviously didn't last very long given Vish's outgoing personality, but at the time it was the perfect excuse for them to get to know each other. And there, with a little encouragement, began the journey of Arch and Vish. Arch's next adventure overseas was while she was at Bain the following year when she headed to New York for 6 months. Despite the distance, Arch managed to keep in touch with all her friends and of course Vish. As most of you know, Arch has spent the last 2 years studying at Wharton, and as Naran said, one of the best business schools in the world. Funnily enough though, it doesn't actually seem like it's been that long, as Arch has always made it a point to come home and visit us here. And being the great friend that she is, she makes it a point to keep in touch and check on everyone and how everything's going. She spent many a Skype session advising me on a variety of important life decisions, and vice versa, I've had the privilege of sharing in some of her life decisions. Throughout her life, Arch's love and adventure has taken her to many different places, including to Chile, Austria, London, the US, India, and of course Canada, just to name a few. I feel, however, that her greatest adventure is the one she started with Vish all those years ago. They have managed to make what most people would dismiss as a difficult long-term relationship seemingly effortless. While I'm sure it required a little bit of effort from both of you, I think it's a great example of your love and the commitment that you have for each other, which is really inspiring. Recently, I had the privilege of attending Arch and Vish's wedding in India. I was so grateful to have had the opportunity to have shared their special day with them. It was such a fun and colourful wedding that brought so many different people from across the globe to celebrate such a special couple. Before I finish, I just wanted to share with you a photo from the wedding which a few of us thought captured both Arch and Vish's personalities so well. Both always happy and smiling, Arch with a certain calmness with which I'm sure she'll be able to handle anything that Vish's cheeky personality throws her way. Arch and Vish, congratulations and thank you so much again for letting us share in your special day with you. I wish you all the very best as you begin yet another adventure in your lives, and look forward to sharing many an adventure with you in the future.
Evangeline. So now let's play a bit of a game. For this, I'm going to ask Arch and Vish to actually stand up and come out the front. And we're going to divide the room. So